Hello,
Looks
Mark.
like we are live. Hello, Heiko. Hello.
Hello. Hi, everyone who's joining our Ask Me Anything session today. So we are planning to talk to Adam the Automator. So he's not here yet. But we are still positive that he will join us maybe in a couple of minutes. Well, in the meantime, as always, we have a little theme of the day. Terminator. Yeah.
Yeah, so Terminator 1 was released today nearly 40 years ago.
Exactly 40 years ago.
Exactly 40 years ago. Okay,
Exactly
so
40 years ago. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, it's kind of a milestone in movie history, I would say.
yes, it is. So the first Terminator and Part 2 are really great. So the following parts are not that good in my opinion, but yeah, just for brain out movie
Yeah.
evening, they are okay.
Yeah, so I thought the first two, I really, I think, and as you just said before we started streaming, like, okay, this is like, maybe we should start watching it again. Could be a good reason to do that, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so while we are waiting for Adam, maybe we talk about a few news from the PowerShell community. So there was the PSConf EU Minicon this week, and I think there were more than 200 people in the sessions when I looked at the numbers. So I think that's really cool. And yeah, and Gail announced the location for PSConf EU 2024, which will be Antwerp in Belgium, which I think is great. I think I've never been there. I only heard it's a nice city. Have you been to Antwerp before?
No, not really. So I visited Belgium a few times. So I was in Brussels. I was in Bruges. I know it. I think it's called in English. And
Okay.
yeah, was great. So maybe I can attend next year, and I would be excited to see Antwerp.
Yeah, and so the interesting thing is, I think this is why I think it was not that easy for Gail and for Jeffrey to actually find the right location, because during that time there is the European Championship, the football championship, which
Is
it is, yeah. So that's why
okay.
it was not. I didn't have it on my agenda actually. So, but that's why I think they had it was a little bit of a challenge to find a location where, number one, there are hotels available and affordable, because during things like European Championships, I guess the hotel prices go through the roof. So yeah, but again, so it's Antwerp, and it will take place from the 24th of June until the 27th. And yeah, I hope we will be there. And because what's also interesting, what just happened this week is that, I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but the PowerShell community in Belgium is kind of re-established. They plan to have their first come together, I think, in January. So
Okay.
that's pretty cool. So Belgium for the win, and I will have a conversation with one of the organizers in the next days to see if we can be there, we can support them. So it's great to see new PowerShell communities coming up. And so yeah, of course, Belgium. It's nice. I've been to Brussels as well, and I've been to Brugge.
Brugge. I think it's the name in Belgian language and in German.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I'm not sure what it's called. How to pronounce it in English.
I don't know too. So, but yeah, it's a nice city. So anyway, so that was one of the announcements during the PSConf EU. So it's going to be in Antwerp in June, PSConf EU, and there also will be a PowerShell day in Switzerland. I think somewhere around February in Lausanne, which I think is also interesting.
Yes, but I'm still waiting for the day when Gail announces that the PSConf will take part in the Europa Park here in Germany.
Okay, well, maybe in 2025. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. And then I attended 2 sessions during the Minicon. One was from Chrissy about building beautiful APIs, I think, kind of was the title. It was a very interesting, very informative session. And then I visited a session from Steve Lee, where he talks about where I talked about DSC v3 and what they already did and what they're planning to do. So right now, at the moment, it's in alpha. They start to be in beta, I think, also next year in February. And I think they are very busy working together with Microsoft Teams internally to build the new version. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there.
So are there any recordings from the PSConf Minicon? Because I hadn't the time to attend.
That's a good question. I think they were planning to do it. I don't know, because Gail said something about maybe there are some technical difficulties, but I think if everything goes as planned, then there will be recordings available. Yes, and there was 6 sessions. They planned 6 sessions. One was cancelled, so there were 5. And yeah, so let's see if we will see the sessions available. So, but it was fun. I met a few people virtually that I haven't talked to in a while, but I didn't get to drive the go-karts. I don't know. Thomas, well, yeah, the well-known Thomas. He drove them, of course, inside the venue, which was explicitly actually not what people should do. But
no, it wasn't allowed last year, so I can remember.
Yeah, but it
everywhere.
happens.
So the carts. So in I think a few minutes or a few hours before the official start, there were carts parked everywhere around the place. So not only outside the hall, it was completely over the complete gather space. So carts everywhere, and the organizer said, please don't drive to the tracks directly.
Yeah. So I think in general people did as mentioned, but at least one guy, he drove the car through the venue, and he's a racer. I think he's driving a Porsche. So in real life, so maybe that's right.
Okay. Okay, great.
Yeah, so that was I think one of the highlights of this week, being part of PSConf EU Minicon, and I'm sure next year you're going to be part of it as well.
Yeah, sure. So I'm looking forward to attend the real PSConf, and afterwards the PSConf Minicon. So it was fun last year in Vienna. So
Yeah.
this year, you and Achim were there, I think.
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah. Right.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And maybe I can attend again in the next year.
Yeah. That would be great. Yeah. So to meet the community. Yeah. So is there anything new on your side, script runner, PowerShell wise? Any interesting scripts you are building at the moment?
I'm currently involved in a lot of projects, which are including the Graph API. So I'm currently
Okay.
do a lot of stuff with Graph API, and yeah. So I think for me, as I'm not a web developer or stuff like that, it's a little bit challenging to handle all the Graph API stuff with PowerShell, but it's great. So I think I'm. Meanwhile, I love to work with Graph API and not with the PowerShell modules. So yeah, so that is what I'm currently doing with PowerShell and a lot of other stuff, but that's, I think, not too interesting for that format here.
But as you said, so you're still not using any of the dedicated modules. You are directly communicating via REST with the
via REST with Graph API. Yeah, so I think it's more stable than the PowerShell modules.
Yeah, and so because you said there are some challenges, is it mainly with the logistics to get the connection to the right endpoints, or what would you say?
No, I think it's more like the challenge is how to handle the data. So with the commandlet, you say, for example, in the PowerShell with the PowerShell module, you said get mg user, and you get all the users, and yeah, with Graph API, you have to do a web request, get all the data, and you have to bring it in the right format and stuff like that. So maybe challenging it's the wrong word. So maybe it's another way to work with the data you get.
Okay.
With PowerShell.
Yeah. Okay, but this is a process of what is it different every time? Let's say if you do something with mails or with calendar or with users, or is it once you get the hang of it, then you can just do it for all other data types?
Kind of. Yeah, it's
okay. Typical consultant. It depends. Answer, right? It depends.
Yeah, I don't want to say that, but yeah, you're right. So
it depends.
Yeah, it depends. But but mainly the way how you do it is mainly the same for the different endpoints. Okay. So if you have it once, you can use it for all the other endpoints, and you can, of course, use tools like the Graph Explorer or Postman or stuff like that to test stuff before you put it in the script. So yeah, it's kind of new if you're not used to work with APIs.
And do you use ChatGPT for some support in this area, or?
I use it heavily in the first time while it was released last year, but in the meantime, I'm not a heavy user anymore. Let's say it like that.
Okay.
No.
Okay, what happened? You don't need it. You have all the knowledge in your head. So
no, I rather use GitHub Copilot for coding, and I think I'm faster by using Copilot than using ChatGPT. So it's more intuitive for my daily workflow.
Okay.
So I'm using ChatGPT, of course. Yeah. So for if I have any question, I rather use ChatGPT than go to Stack Overflow. So Stack Overflow is still a useful
still a thing. Yeah.
community, but so for my daily workflow, the GitHub Copilot is a little bit faster than using ChatGPT.
Okay, interesting. So actually, I started to use ChatGPT or DALL-E to play around with images.
Okay.
I let it create a Halloween theme for my Twitter header image.
I saw that.
Which turned out really cool. The only challenge I have is sometimes to get really the words that you would like to have in the graphics to be written correctly. So this is still, you have to, you try several times, and sometimes it's correct, sometimes it's not. But the pictures, the images itself, I think are really amazing. I have to say. So if you, for people who are watching and you're wondering, where's Adam? That's a good question. So we're still waiting for him. So that's why Markus and I are chatting a little bit. So, but maybe he will join us. We'll see. Otherwise, this Ask Me Anything edition might be a little shorter than usual. And then we will, of course, try to get in touch with him afterwards to see if we can reschedule something. So, because I think talking to him with all his experience and with his Adam the Automator brand and his websites, I think it's very interesting. That's probably why you're here. So not hearing the two of us talking, but that's all we can do at the moment. So and of course, if people watching, if you have questions for Markus and I, please feel free to put something into the comments.
It's still an AMA session, so don't hesitate. Just ask us whatever you want.
Yes.
And maybe you'll get an answer.
Yeah, and maybe the answer might be 42, but that could be.
The answer is always 42.
It's always 42. You can never go wrong with 42, right? Yeah.
No, so it's like it feels like a little bit retro today. So I feel it feels like a throwback to the beginning of our AMA sessions where we do it where the two of us.
That's true. The only difference is back then for this kind of occasions we're kind of prepared because we knew it's just the two of us. So we had some topics prepared. So this time we're just winging it. It's just, we're just talking about current events, current stuff. By the way, maybe also, as we talked about PSConf, there will be, next week, there will be a session for the Brisbane DevOps user group where I'm going to show a little bit about Script Runner and ChatGPT, and we're going to be in Amsterdam end of November, and you're going to be there as well, right?
Yes, I am there as well. So if you want to talk to us in person, so you will meet us in Amsterdam on the ESPC where we have our own booth. So if you want to talk about PowerShell, Script Runner, or just have a coffee with us.
Have a coffee, and I think you're also there because you are our SharePoint specialist, right? So that's why.
Of course,
yes.
I am.
So if people have any question in regards to SharePoint, approach Markus. He's the man.
Yeah. So the answer is always 42.
42. Oh my god! So
no, please, no, don't ask me anything about SharePoint. Let's switch to another topic.
Okay. SQL Server. How about SQL Server?
Okay.
Okay. Silence. Okay. Anyway.
No, SQL Server is okay. It's all okay, but not SharePoint.
Yeah. So actually, I had recently I had a conversation with one of our customers who are using PowerShell to manage SQL, and I was asking them if they're using the official Microsoft SQL module or the DBA tools, and they said they use both. And the reason why when they use the DBA tools is that they said that if they have some specific authentication they want to use to connect to SQL, it's either even better or it's even possible with DBA tools, and at least in the way that they do it, compared to using the SQL Server module. So that was quite interesting to see that.
Okay, so yeah, maybe we can include the DBA tools into our plans to write or to develop some kind of tutorial regarding SQL Server. So that's in the pipeline of my team, and in cooperation with our technical documentation team. So we are working on several coding scenarios, and maybe there will be a scenario with DBA tools and SQL Server. But currently, I'm not sure. We have to make a little bit more plans about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sure. But this I mean, it's always interesting when we talk to organizations, big organizations using PowerShell, and the way they utilize it, the things that they do with it, and why they're doing it. So with SQL, with VMware, with Microsoft platforms, obviously, pretty interesting. So I'm just checking if I have any news somewhere from Adam, but it doesn't look
so
like it.
Yeah, it's obviously we do not have a plan B for the session today.
Yeah. So that's, I would say, lesson learned for the next time.
Yes,
but I
indeed.
think so I really think it's too bad he's not here. So, but as we wanted to talk to him, I guess people who are watching the stream, of course, they would like to get some info from Adam, but unfortunately we cannot provide it at the moment. So I think this will be a kind of a short version of this session, and so that we will try to get in touch with Adam to find out. Maybe he has some technical difficulties, maybe, I don't know, but we will definitely find another date to talk to him.
Sure.
And we, by the way, we already have the next one lining up, which will happen in December, beginning of December. And so that's going to be an interesting one too, if the person appears in the session. Otherwise, it's going to be the two of us again. And for the next time, I guess we are going to, then prepare a few topics and maybe also some things that we can show on the PowerShell side or on the script runner side, or any kind of news from the community.
Sure.
Yeah. So I think with this, because still no news from Adam, I would say we call it a day this time. So the first Ask Me Anything session with a no-show, but I think we covered a few interesting topics around the community and PowerShell in general. So, but for the next time, stay tuned. We will announce it. I think in a week's time, next week or the week after next, and then hope to see you in the next one with an interesting guest. And if we have news, when we have news from Adam, we'll let you know, and we will reschedule so we can talk to him about his career, his Adam the Automator website, all his learning content that he is providing. And so it's not today, but another day. There is always
Yes.
another day.
Of course. And now that we saved a little bit time, I'm going to watch Terminator 1.
Whoa,
at the end of
okay.
that session.
That's yeah, that's a good plan. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right, Markus. Thanks for talking. Thanks everyone for
Thank
joining,
you.
and sorry for not being able to talk to Adam, but well, we have to find out what happened, and we will definitely have another option, another date to talk to him. Until then,
Exactly. Yes.
take
See you
care
next
and
time.
keep on scripting.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye.